All right. Let's get this party started. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? How was your day? Where am I working here? Right here. So, I'm working on this cube. Getting it finished up. Just got the edges to do now. Random account, how you doing? Alright. How was your day? So each layer is comprised of 720 rings right now. And there's, I don't know, 30 some odd layers. So there should be about 23,000 rings. I'll check the calculator here in a minute. When we're done, we'll weigh it. And then before it goes to its new home, I'm going to take some videos with it. All right. Random account, I'm doing okay. If I didn't answer your question, sorry. Do we have a troll, a bot already? Alright. Chuck-a-duck, thank you for the dinos. Tom, how you doing? It's just a bot. Gina, how you doing? What's going on? Just a bot. They pop up randomly, tag someone, and usually I'd bother to ask if they know the person they're tagging. But yeah, Tom's doing good. Gina's doing good. I'm doing all right. Wrapping up this project here. We are working on a jelly cube. It's very jelly, in case you've never seen it before. Charlie, how you doing? What's going on? So yeah, I was able to get a little bit of work done on this today. Figured, well, I had some extra time. I don't know, you can see the corner of them here. I've got about 32 of these strips of Byzantine for this cube here. So I think I need 105, right? So I've got a ways to go on that, but nearing the end of the cube portion of this large project to my right here. I'm excited to have that done. Bunch of, oh, you know what I did today? That was exciting. I took the armrests off of my chair, right? Like, these armrests are attached to the desk, but I had armrests on my desk chair here. Chuck-a-duck. Magnets do not stick to it. Hey, babe, how you doing? This is aluminum. Let's see here. Alright, I've got a magnet on the back of this controller here. Right. Oh. What is that? Okay, so the stainless steel is a little magnetic. Better now that the dogs calm down? Yeah, that was not annoying at all. So, why is this so loud? feel like I'm yelling at myself. So these strips of Byzantine that hold all these large rings in place on this cube over here, slightly magnetic. The spring stainless doesn't seem to be magnetic, but yeah, this is aluminum, so shouldn't be sticking to nothing. But good question. But yeah, I took the armrest off my chair because the way I sit with one leg crossed most of the time. And like the armrests were just preventing me from getting comfortable. And it's been that way 4 years. And I finally did something about it today. And it worked out great. So now I've got... Let me just take this off. I'll show you. So I've got this armrest here, right? And it's just like a armrest from As Seen on TV. I think I ordered them off of Amazon or something. But they have this bolt that secures the armrest to the desk, right? And I think I've finally got it figured out where I want them. So I'm going to drill some holes in the desk to let those bolts get secure. Thank you for the dinos. Appreciate you. And now the music is too quiet. So I've got my drill and my 1/2-inch drill bit and the vacuum to clean up the mess down here. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. But little things. Little things make your workspace that much more enjoyable. 6 dang good kitties. How you doing? The cube? Yeah, the cube I'm working on in my hands. Hang on. This is a chainmail jelly cube. And they're very fun. They don't, they're cool, and they're fun, and they're fidgety, and they're tactile, and you can throw them at your kids. No, don't do that. Come on. So, and then I have a strip of lights, LEDs, that I need to figure out what to do with. Oh, it's fine. I'm experienced enough at this that I can find where I was working fairly quickly. But there are times. There are times when it's like, where do I place the next ring? There's this weave, it's called Trinity. And if you're familiar with chainmail at all, there's like different families of weaves. There's spiral weaves, sheet weaves. There's chain weaves that just make a long chain, right? And they all stem from what's called European 4-in-1, which is the chainmail that you see in, medieval movies, right? So all the armor you'd see in Lord of the Rings or Kingdom of Heaven would be European 4-in-1, right? Well, there's a weave called Trinity, and it's essentially European 3-in-1, right? That weave flips, and it doesn't want to lay flat. It has a natural inclination to roll over onto itself. Finding where you're working on that's a pain. Everything would blend together with me looking at it. Stained glass is hard enough, yeah. Stained glass. I've had some friends that make stained glass. It's very fun. Very fun art form. Actually, the wife's grandma or mom. I don't remember who we got it for. It might have been her mom. My mother-in-law. The wife got a stained glass piece made. I don't remember if it was for her mom or her grandma. And I made a chain for it to hang in their window. It's fun. Big, difficult, danger puzzle. Big, difficult, danger puzzle for sure. Actually, speaking of stained glass, there's another chainmail artist on TikTok named Arik, A-I-R-I-K, I think. And he usually streams a little bit later than me. And he makes stained glass pieces, like stained glass pendants, and puts them on necklaces and stuff. It was your grandma? Okay, that's what I thought. So, mixing media is always fun. I like watching stained glass being made too. It's cool. Anytime you get a artist who is like really good at what they do, you know, they're just, it's fun to watch them. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. This, Kevin, is aluminum. This piece behind me is all stainless steel. I've got some silver somewhere around here. All my bracelets are stainless steel. My necklace is stainless steel. So here, I've got this little brass and bronze and stainless steel monkey paw. That's cool. You've seen one person making pendants but making the solder spiky. Yeah, no, I think I've seen that person. I don't know who they are. They've come across my feed. Does aluminum go faster? No. Well, it depends. So, the big rings on here are made from spring steel, right? And so, the number of rings you can weave in a day is less than probably the number of rings you can physically weave in a day of these small aluminum rings, right? And it's just because it's physically more difficult to manipulate these larger rings, and especially considering the fact that they're spring steel, it, you know, puts a little more wear and tear on your body than these little aluminum ones. But the reality is that you can only stay hunched over, you know, closing rings for so many hours a day, period. So, what's that metal that you can change the color of? So you can change the color of aluminum by electrochemically anodizing it, or anodizing it is an electrochemical process that involves dyes and chemicals, and I'm not too familiar with it. But you can electroanodize. You can use electricity to anodize niobium and titanium. The necklace I'm wearing is probably around 150 to $200 if I had to price it out. That's a guess. Can aluminum be gold plated? Yeah, you can. It's not gold plated, but you can get aluminum in a gold color, right? Like here. This is pretty yellow, right? But there's several different shades, and you can get gold. And that's anodized aluminum right there. Excuse me. It's like medieval knitting, night knitting, if you will. I like the term, I've got a shirt on my website that says, if it's not real chainmail, what is it? Combat crochet? medieval, is it medieval macrame? Or night knitting? Yeah. It's not as medieval as it once was. Like, these are just butted rings where the ends butt up against each other. Hopefully, soon, I will have an entire process to rivet rings to make riveted chainmail. And I have a welder, little sparkle welder, so I can weld my closures on these rings if I need to make something really strong, like I plan on doing on some of these smaller sculptures. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm mostly here to make sure that I work on stuff and to show people that you can make cool stuff with chainmail in the comfort of your own home, and it can just be a fun hobby that you enjoy. The payoff looks so worth it, though. The fidgeting is immaculate. Yeah. This is like I've got this cube. Got several little chainmail balls and spheres, and that one's not. That's an odd shape. Right. The monkey paw, it's cool. Kind of just stuff I have around my desk. And it's, I don't know. I don't know what you call it. It's just fun. One of the things is, it doesn't take very long to get pretty good. You can go from, you know, beginner to professional in 6 months. Right? Now, that doesn't mean you have the breadth of knowledge of the history of chainmail or anything. I'm just, you know, getting your closures right, learning different weaves, and making professional items. You can get there in probably 3 to 4 months. Right? And then, as you expand your knowledge, you can just start making whatever you want. Which is kind of how I ended up starting this project over here. Right? So I didn't know if it would work. I was like, oh, let's try it. I was actually trying to make something else, and that just was the end result. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah. So I've got a lot of cool stuff planned. And it's, you know, it's all a ton of work. But eventually I will get through it. And we'll make some cool stuff. Where are we at here? Oh. Yeah. When I say that you can really only weave so many hours in a day, like, I mean it. Your shoulders, neck, and back will they'll turn on you and you'll become an invalid. How long have I been going for today? Couple hours this morning, and then you know, got up, took a kid to school, came home, had to go to the... No, that wasn't today. Came downstairs, worked for 2-3 hours, lunch, came back downstairs for an hour or two, went to go get my kid, homework, dinner, right? Take care of the animals, do the dishes, and then I got back down here at 7. So at least 5, probably 6 hours, and I'll have 7.5, maybe 8 hours by the time I'm done. It's like, on a good day, I'll weave about 1,000 rings, right? And with projects like this cube, you know, that's pretty good, right? How many? I'll probably finish it up this stream. I just got these 2 corners here, and then I'm done with this. And it's 16 by 16 by 16 all around. Gotta weigh it, gotta make a couple videos, and then... Yeah. But yeah, I was close to finishing this row when I got the new order of rings in, so there wasn't a whole lot more work to do on this, like a day and a half maybe. Wonder if there's a world record for how many rings in a chainmail cube. Okay, so the largest chainmail cube that I'm aware of being made right now will have 750,000 rings in it when it's done, and it's being made by the admin of the large chainmail group over on Facebook, and it's using copper and steel, and it's going to weigh over 200 pounds. And right now, he's got like a 2 foot by 2 foot square, like 1.5 inches thick. And he says that's only 65,000 rings so far. So I think I don't know of anyone who's ever made a larger cube than that. Like this cube that I'm working on, it's physically one of the largest, right? However, like, I used small rings to make big rings and then wove the big rings together. Did they say how long it took? It's probably going to take him 5 or 6 years. Right? 750,000. Okay, so let's... He's a dad, he's a husband, and he works, right? His goal is to weave 7... Yeah, that is the cube I chunked the crap out of my knuckle on. Like, chunked. It was gnarly. But yeah, so 750,000 rings. I've done 150,000 rings this year, I'm guessing, right? If not, if I haven't hit 150,000, I'm close. And I'm, you know, this is what I do all day. Okay? Yeah, I take my kid to school and whatnot, and gotta cook meals. But he works. He's a dad. He's married. Okay? And he has an issue where he's got to be at the doctor's office for several hours, like once or twice a week or something. I'm not sure what it is. So his time is taken up by a lot of other stuff. It's going to take him, if he can manage 100,000 rings a year on that one project, because that's like all he's making, he'll have it done in 5 or 6 years. As far as I know, he's still in the first year of it, and he said he's got 65,000 rings done. And then there's also an issue he ran into, is that he ran out of rings, so he had to wait on more rings to be manufactured in order for him to work on his cube. Can you speed weave or have multiple people work on one cube? Yeah, you can kind of have multiple people work on one cube, but speed weaving, if you pick up one ring, open it, weave it, and then close it, that's faster than any speed weaving technique I've seen. So I've seen some tips and tricks, and it's like, I don't really know if that's, like, some people, they'll open half their rings and they'll close half their rings and then they'll weave them together. But they're picking up a ring multiple times and setting it down. And it's like, I don't, it's faster for me to open the ring, weave it, and grab the next ring than it is. Like maybe each person make a cube and you all weave them together. Yeah, you can kind of do that. Here. Like, okay, you see how these two sides aren't the same size? These were two different cubes, right? And I had to do a lot of work in the middle to get them connected, right? And they weren't quite this size when I started. So there's been some addition made. But these were, two people could have made this and I could have connected them together, right? That is one way, for sure. It's incredible. It's hard finding time for hobbies between needs. Yeah, absolutely. Dude's making the Transformer cube. The armrest things are called, as seen on TV, armrests. Billie Eilish, how you doing? I noted, Wuttig. You're good and it's your day off? Right on. Yeah, so let me pop this off real quick. The original cover got tore up from use. It was kind of cheap. And so I put some leather over it and I stamped some chainmail into it. Right? And then the pad that protects the plastic from the desk, I just replaced that with a piece of leather. But it's just a bolt deal that secures it to the desk. It's a Slime Cube final boss. Yeah. Where am I at here? Starting the next row. So, I actually get a lot of questions about the armrests. And, they work. I really needed them because, with my elbows on the desk all the time, I get those dry patches. And those are not fun. When you stamp leather, does it ever lose its stamp with touch? No. Once it's stamped, it's stamped. Unless, you horribly mar it somehow to change it. And when you're stamping, there are tools that kind of, like if you want to ease up the edge of a cut or a stamp, you can do that. All right, 6 damn good kitties. You have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Yeah, so take your stamp, place it where you want on the leather, smack it with a hammer, and it will stay there. It's permanent, you know, until the leather is, you know, so worn down that it fades away, or, you know, it is transformed some other way. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Come on. There we go. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Okay, we're just going to take that back out. There it is. So, sometimes when you have a ring and the closure is so good you can't see the opening, and you're not sure, well, that doesn't make sense, what I was about to say. I couldn't find the closure on that, so I ripped it out and threw it away. What's the name of the Chainmail Facebook group? It's CHAIN space MAILLE. Boxer Dog. No, these rings are all ordered. I've made my rings in the past, and I stopped making them when I realized that I couldn't produce as high a quality a ring. I was actually making really crap rings at the time. And now that I'm like, I've got 3 decades more experience than when I first started. Like, because of cost issues, I will be making my own rings again. I was hoping to get to that this year. Excuse me. But I want to be able to make my own titanium and stainless steel and silver rings. But for things like anodized aluminum, I'll probably just order those, as I do not want to build the setup to anodized aluminum anywhere in my house. So, but I will make titanium rings and anodize them. That's a goal. I will make the stainless steel rings that I need, and that way I can have some quality control. If I have to order blackened stainless rings, I'm stuck ordering those. You're making your own because you just started? Right on. What material are you working with? And congratulations on picking up an awesome hobby. You're working with steel, like galvanized steel or stainless steel or mild steel. See here, my nippers are too far away. Galvanized, okay. And are you cutting? Are you using a saw, or are you using some snips? Wire cutters, okay. Yep, I did that for a long time, and I've got a galvanized steel shirt that I made. I don't care to work with galvanized steel. Not when there's so many other better materials available. And because the rings that I was making at home with my wire snips were not, they were pretty junk. Yeah, you can use fencing wire from Farm and Fleet. If it were me and I had to go make my own rings, I would use the aluminum fencing wire. If we're just just getting started and just want to play around, just because aluminum shines up real nice, and it doesn't like galvanized steel has that zinc coating that makes it smell, and so I don't care for it. So if I were just beginning, I would use aluminum in lieu of galvanized steel if I'm grabbing fence wire. There are multiple chainmail suppliers out there. So, and they're not that expensive, all things considered. It causes cancer in California. What doesn't cause cancer in California, I think, is a better question. Mailworks shared the live video. I did? Alright, so it's like no hate to anyone that starts out with galvanized. I used it too for a long time. These are Xuron 483s. XURON 483s. I like these. There's several different varieties of Xurons. I forget what the other, I think it's 472. But if you're on mobile and you're on TikTok, if you go to my TikTok page, there should be a link for my link tree. And actually, I can just share the link in here. Okay. And in the link tree at the top, okay, the top link is the Mailworks web app. If you open that app up, there's a list of suppliers. I think there's 15 or 16 of them at this point. They're in multiple countries. There's tool recommendations in there. There's other chainmail groups that you can join and hang out and learn from. It's all the resources I would have wanted when I first got started 28 years ago, right? And there's also a Discord in there if you want to join. We're getting more people in there all the time. It's still fairly young, but it's a place where you can ask for help, and there's a lot of other experienced chainmail artists in there. And I don't remember, like I said, these are the Xuron 483s, but in the tools section, there's a couple recommendations with pictures. So you can go and I like Xurons because they're fairly cheap. What are the plier brands that people use? They use Lindstrom's, Wubbers, Knipex, Knipex, and I'm trying to think. I have a pair of Wubbers here, and all the rest of my pliers are kind of bleh. How do you make the cube 3D? So a lot of people build their bottom layer as large as they want to make their cube, and then they just build up from there. So it's Japanese 4-in-1, is the weave, if you want to look that up. Okay. Excuse me. And if actually no, if you want a good tutorial, Wayward and Whimsical on TikTok, all one word, Wayward and Whimsical, has a really good cube tutorial on her page, on her TikTok page. So you got to make sure you have the right ring size, and then you'll be good to go. Man. So, and if you decide you want to make a cube and you want to know the ring size here, here's a shameless plug for one of the ring suppliers. That's 18 gauge SWG, that's 1/8 of an inch inner diameter. So 18 SWG 1/8 rings from chain-reaction.ca. And you don't have to use, you don't have to use that same ring size. But what you do need is a ring with an aspect ratio of 2.7 or so. I think the tightest is like 2.65, and the loosest is something like 2.8. Because you can't make every ring with every ring size. So a lot of chainmail suppliers and artists use aspect ratio to determine if a weave can be made with the rings they have on hand. So there are I'm gonna be adding some charts to the Mailworks web app. What else am I adding? I want to go back through and just kind of redo the whole look a little bit. But there's a lot of resources in there for new and veteran chainmail artists, and there's a whole artist section for people who want chainmail but don't want to make it themselves, and whole artist section where all of those artists do like custom work and have a bunch of stuff already made, ready to go. So trying to make it a useful app, and it's free. And you don't have to download it. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So, I've got $150 more rings on here. Jay Thomas, how you doing? What's going on? Trying to figure out if I can finish this tonight or not. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So, yeah. Roughly how much time have you spent on this cube total? Let's do some math. Uh, 130 to 140 hours. There's like 23,000 rings in this. So this cube behind me here, I think I have around 250 hours into it, and a lot of that was because I made a mistake, and then a lot of these blackened stainless rings were out of round, and I am sitting and correcting every one, right? It's all, well, the big cube is not done. I still got some more work to do on that. One more layer. And then build the display to hold it up. But this little cube should be done hopefully here in a little bit. Or the little cube. There's nothing little about this cube. Uses a ton of rings. It's okay. There's nothing little about this cube except its stature. Like, it's not that big. What do you need to make a cube? So you need a ring that has an aspect ratio of like 2.65 to 2.8. If you can find one with an aspect ratio of 2.7, that's a really good size. And what all that means is that it's a ring you can make cubes out of, right? And these are 18 gauge SWG 1/8 of an inch inner diameter rings from chain-reaction.ca, right? And there are other suppliers that make rings with the correct aspect ratio, right? And then get some pliers, get the rings, go over to Wayward and Whimsical's page, and view her tutorial on how to make a cube. There's a guide in the chainmail groups, but there's no other tutorial other than Wayward and Whimsical's that I'm aware of. And you're very welcome. Actually, I wonder if she'll let me link to that in the app. Just make a section for cube tutorial, and it just takes you to her tutorial. I bet she will. In fact, that whole tutorial section, I'll have to go back and take a look at it. I want to make it more user-friendly. So, and then write tutorials of my own and add them somehow. All right, what are we making here? Landon, how you doing? We are working on a chainmail jelly cube. It's almost done. Chainmail looks awesome. Thank you. So working on this cube, finishing it up, gonna get it sent out to its new home, and then finishing up this large cube behind me. And I don't know what is next after that. Like I've got I've got the rings for a next, like my next cube. And I don't know if I want to do this next, but it is ready to go. So we'll see. Can you show off after you're done some other things you've made? I've got stuff in reach right here. You can take a look at. These are some of the bracelets that sit at my desk. Here is one little chainmail spheroid filled with glow-in-the-dark BBs. They don't really glow in the dark too well, though. I've got this little monkey paw. Dice bag is cool. You want to see a dice bag, or you saw one of my dice bags? I don't have one in reach, but I can get up and show one if you would like. All right. Just saying because of the guy above. I'd like to see if I can make a chainmail dice bag. Ah, okay. Mexican Santa, how you doing? I'd like to see one and maybe try and make one. Okay. Let's see here. Let me grab one for you. Give me just a second to finish this row. Actually, you know what? I'll grab a couple of them. Hang on. Couple of the ones I've attempted, and that'll give you some ideas, and I can talk about pros and cons. I can grab my motorcycle vest if you want to see that. It might take me a bit to struggle into one of my shirts. I'm a little fatter than when I made them. But hang on a sec. Oh, okay. All right, so I've got my riding vest, right? Japanese 12 and 2 for anyone on TikTok, X, YouTube, Twitch. Here, let me move my chair out of the way. I've got I'll just pull one of these off. The vest extenders are all chainmail. Little black and stainless steel, and right. So I got chains up the side. Okay, I've got pockets. It comes on a regular leather vest, right? And then there's the back. All right, where am I at here? Okay, dice bags. So this is a titanium dice bag I'm working on. I don't have the straps through it. What I can do, actually, let me show you this one first. Okay, so we've got some scales hanging there. We've got some skulls going around it. We've got two different weaves here. Some black and stainless in there, right? But this is a strip of elf weave going around the top. And it's got this cool skull bead holding everything together. Alright, what am I at here? I'd like to buy a few if you can't make them. No, you're a DM. But this one is for sale. Right? This one is not done. This one is my tiniest one I've ever made. Let me show you this tiny set of dice I have in here. You'd like to gift them to your party. You should definitely make some and gift them to your party. They're not hard. Right? Look at this. This is the tiniest set of dice ever. And they all fit into this tiny little dice bag. How long did it take to make the vest? Thanks, Alexis. The vest took me about 3 years. I have no idea how many rings are in it, how much armor, or how much it weighs. John Nutsack armor. Yeah. So I don't have any dice in this one, just some paracord, but that'll give you an example of what this titanium one looks like. What all do you have for sale? I've got a bunch of bracelets. 1 or 2 necklaces. Don't look, I'm stuffing my sack. I can grab all of it for you here in a sec. Like when this is full, it looks like a dice bag. I don't know how many dice will fit in here. But there'll be... Uh-oh, puzzle piece of death. So that's what this one looks like. There's a place for the loops to go through across the top for some leather lacing, but I've got to anodize this one first. So, because it's titanium and I want to add some color to it. No, I don't have any tutorials, Boxer Dog, but if you go to the here. Okay, go to that link. Open that up. The top link is the Mailworks web app. Inside there's a page for tutorials and where to find them. Right? Then I have this one. And that's... as I don't remember, Skyrim logo someone asked me to make and then didn't pay for it. So this is like EPDM and anodized aluminum and regular aluminum. And there's a bunch of like casino dice in here and a bag of marbles. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But these are just some ideas for you if you want to make dice bags. And, let's see here. How would you add color besides buying the color metal? So, if you got copper wire or brass or bronze laying around, how much is the Skyrim one? I don't know. Probably around $200 if you want one this large, as is. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but if you want it, as is, you can have it. I will sell it this way. Not perfect, not my best work. It's actually like a really old piece that I did. But I won't tell you no. Alright, let's move this stuff aside. So yeah, if you want color in your projects, you got to use wire that is a natural color like brass or bronze or gold. Titanium you can anodize electrically at home. Yeah, if you want it as is, just DM me and I'll get in touch with you after I'm done streaming. Oh, someone asked what else I had for sale. What would you sell a vest for? I don't know, 10. You'd have to pay me like 10 grand to make another one, right? It's like I did the saddlebag covers for my Road King, and you'd have to pay me a significant amount to do it again. And I'll show you why, okay? Here. Sorry if this makes anybody sick. But if you look closely at the edges, there is leather lacing that goes around the entirety of the vest, okay? So it wasn't just weaving the chainmail, it was putting all this leather lacing on there. And it was the same thing with my saddlebags. It takes forever to do the lacing. And sometimes the lacing breaks and you got to start all over, and then you don't want to finish the project. And let's see here. Just grabbed a couple handfuls of stuff. I don't have this separated out. Not that one. So, first up, we've got this lovely wrapped stone with a full Persian sterling silver chain attached to it. Right? Then I have several of these bracelets with a single slider bead. And all the slider beads are kind of different. Hang on, I'm trying to organize this. Disaster. Is that all of them? Nope, here's one. There we go. So these are all like the same, just the bead is different. Right? Like you got a skull with some wings, you got 4 skulls, it's a ship, right? A ship and a skull and some crosses, another ship, and then this blank one that can be engraved. Assuming the longer you keep the electricity on the chain, the darker the color gets. Or as far as anodizing like titanium or niobium, I have no idea. I haven't ever done it. I've only seen people do it, and it was very long ago. And and I don't remember. So okay, so these are $100, right? And they come with, why is that screwed up? A buckle clasp on them, right? So with the single slider bead, they're 100. Let's move that over there. Got a bunch of skulls here. And then 2 like regular ones. So I'll show the skulls first. These all have 5 beads on them. Right? Same thing with the buckle clasps in the back. And these are 150. Alright, does it go in shades like from stainless, like blue to purple? Like when you add heat to stainless. These kids, man, messing with my stuff. Okay, and then here's some, like, not skull jewelry stuff, just kind of classy. Everything's stainless steel on here, except for the wings here. Like, I'll show you on mine. So, if you look closely, you can see that little wear spot there where you can see some base metal underneath, right? Other than that, everything is stainless steel. Those are super cool. And yeah, anodizing titanium does go in shades, right? There's a whole color spectrum that you can hit. You like the clasp? I do like those too. So beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of how I was thinking, because if you had heat, it should turn colors, right? Yeah, heat or electricity or voltage and amperage, and there's a whole science behind anodizing stuff, right? Okay, these two. Is it just those two? One of them has the Valnut on it, and the other has a triquetra, a series of 4 beads apiece, right? So there's the Valnut and the triquetra, and they've got regular lobster clasps on there. The clasps are stainless steel. How can you make sure it fits me if you're a big or small guy? So, if you message me, I'll have you like wrap a string around your wrist to get like, and then take the string and hold it up against a ruler or something. Pimash, no, I don't speak Spanish, sorry. And your English has been fine. So, and then I will size it accordingly. But these are 75. And that's ones with Valnut bead. Can you see that? And there's 4 beads on there. And the other with a triquetra. And then these are a jumbled mess of stuff. Try to just show one. Like, this is just kind of a wonky bracelet. I'd probably sell this for like $20, right? It's not as smooth as everything else. It still works. It looks fine. But it kind of like catches a little bit, right? And I'll just, is that all of them? Pretty much. And then we got, oh, here. And then you got 30, 30, 75, 30. And that's box weave, half Persian 4-in-1, Turkish round mail, and helm weave. If you're interested in the weave names. If you want one of the bracelets, Mr. Pmosh, just DM me on TikTok and I'll get you hooked up. I accept PayPal and Venmo. Stainless Byzantine, this one. That's the wonky one. Do I have another one? No, I don't think I do. But yeah, if you see something you like, just, you know, hit me up. Actually, so you can DM me on TikTok, or you can hit me up on Instagram, because we'll start talking on TikTok and I'll say, hey, let's go to Instagram because I can send pictures there. You want the square wire bracelet that's a little wonky? $20, little man. Put that... Oh, wait, no. I can't say that. So... Get off me. I think it was a mosquito in my basement. You'll give it to your wife? Okay. Well, Mech, you know where to find me. But yeah, if you saw something you like, send me a message request. I'll check them after the stream. And then, if I got bit by a mosquito, I'm clearly not wearing enough chainmail. Just sitting down in the basement, streaming, full suit of armor on. All right. So what I want to do is actually, where this is, have like a stand that everything is hanging from, so that when someone asks to see something, I can just go, here you go. Take a look. You know? But most of my stuff is like across the basement. Must have some great eyesight because I don't think I'd be able to see the links without help. You went from a chainmail hoodie to a chainmail vest. The next step would be a full shirt. If you want me to try and squeeze into one of my old chainmail shirts that I've made, you're going to have to pay me money. Okay? Because there's a good chance I won't be able to get out of them. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. And I'm not kidding. They were made for a much slender man. And I have plans to rehabilitate them and make them more like this vest. Right? My Instagram is the Mailworks. Same username on across every platform. Come on. We were all once slenderer men, yeah. Thought you were going to put leather ties down the sides of my shirts. So the shirts, what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to make them much more like a jacket, right? I will line the inside with some softer leather, right? So that probably involves taking all the panels of the shirts apart. Well, first I got to make it like a jacket, right? So cut it up the middle. Make it larger. And I only have enough rings to do like one of the 3 shirts that I've made. So I'll make it larger, put more, add more rings to it, try to make it longer. And then line the inside. Put leather around all of the edges. Put some fur trim on there. Like, I want to look like a Russian mob wife wearing a chainmail shirt. That's my goal. What pliers using? Where do you get them? Yeah, so Crow Findings, how are you doing tonight? If you go to that link I just posted, if you open it up, that's my link tree. The top link is the Mailworks web app. And in there are tool recommendations, and these are in there. These are Xuron 483s. You can get them off Amazon. But also in the app are suppliers, where to find tutorials, where do other chainmail artists hang out at, a whole bunch of other resources, as well as a Discord where you can come ask your questions. Be sure to go to all the sections of the Discord and click the links at the bottom. Click the likes at the bottom. You're just starting and struggling? Well, I'm here usually 8:30 to 10 most nights of the week, Central Standard Time, hanging out, working on chainmail projects. So if you have any questions, open up the app. You don't have to download anything. It's just a web app. And, you know, you can join the Discord if you have questions, or you can pop back in here. You can message me. I will do my best to answer. I'm so close to finishing this tonight, but it's not going to happen. That's okay. I'll finish it tomorrow, get it sent out tomorrow afternoon. I actually have to make some videos with this before I let it go. It's too precious to just send it off and not try to shill it for everything it's absolutely worth, right? Mexican Santa, have a good night. Yeah, if you want the Skyrim dice bag, just hit me a message. Shoot me a message. Mac, you use the same pliers and they're fantastic. If you get them through the app, it helps the stream. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's one of those, what do you call them? Amazon codes. What do you call it? You call it affiliate. It's an Amazon affiliate code if you click the link inside the app, and Amazon pays me a little bit of money for every item that I sell. And I need to go back through and add a bunch of other items too. How much is one of the cubes? This one sold for a significant amount of money. I'm not going to discuss how much. Not, you know, pay off my mortgage kind of money, but buy a used car kind of money for sure. And if I was asked, if someone commissioned me to make this again, I wouldn't accept a commission for anything less than $5,000. Yes, affiliate is the word I was looking for. Why don't I have my Linktree on my page? Are you on mobile or are you on computer? It should show up on mobile, but I've had some people complain about it not showing up on when they're on the computer, and I can't see it. You're on a tablet? Okay. Do you need the link again? Oh, there you go. Okay. So it's on my bio in my TikTok profile, and for some reason it doesn't show up certain places. So I don't know why. That's the only thing. I'm only ever on my phone whenever I'm on TikTok. You're screenshot it. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a setting on the back end of TikTok that I need to change to change that. I'll actually look for that. But yes, it is supposed to be on my page. I definitely want it there. Oh, I should have told Mexican Santa something. Which is that the dice bag he was asking about, right? The Skyrim one. You're still here? Okay, so this will eventually become a different product, right? It's one of those that's laying around waiting for me to get to it. So, don't wait too long if you want it as is. Okay? We're not in any danger of that happening for like the next year. I'm just saying it will eventually get changed. That's all. I don't know what I'm going to change to. I was thinking like a skull and crossbones or something. But I don't know if I have enough black rings to do that. We'll see. Open it up a little on the top. You keep following me, it's not following you. No. Where are we at here? 9:55. Yeah, okay. Yeah, waiting on a settlement check from him. It should be a few weeks. Hey, that's out. That's will happen in plenty of time. I'm just saying, like, it's been sitting around for quite a while. One of the things that I'm in the middle of doing is using up all of the rings in my basement before I order more, so that I don't have a giant mess down here. Instead, I have a bunch of finished projects, right? And eventually, I will get to that dice bag if it's you don't pick it up before then, and make some adjustments to it. So I'm just saying, like, and that's like we're not in danger of that happening anytime soon. It's just I will eventually work my way through my giant pile of stuff and get to it and do something with it. All right. Yeah, we're not in danger of me getting to a lot of projects anytime soon, but slow and steady wins the race. I've gotten a tremendous amount of stuff done. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm just, not going to happen anytime soon. Just, it will eventually, is all. So, it's like, let's see here. I don't remember if I made this year or last year. I think I made this year. This was recent, right? This was just last year, right? This was just last year. I think this was this year, right? This might have been this year. This has been this year. I finished up a giant inlay this year. What else? My saddlebags for my Road King, I finished those up this year. Getting a lot of stuff done. Found your Insta, now just find everything else. There you go. Appreciate you. Yeah, we are getting towards the end of the stream. Usually I'm done on here by 10 o'clock, so if you're following along, my username is the same on all the platforms. Facebook, X, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Please follow along on all those pages. Do I have any suggestions for a project for you to do? Do you know what ring size you're using? Like what wire gauge you bought and what mandrel size you're using for the to make your rings? Okay, because if you're making your own rings and you're just getting started, right? The first, you don't know? Okay, so rings are measured by the inner diameter, right? So not out here, but in here from the inside of one side of the ring to the inside of the other. Okay? And if you're using like a 1/4 inch mandrel or 3/8 of an inch mandrel, those are usually pretty common. Those are pretty good versatile sizes. So the first thing you need to go look at the pack of wire that you bought. It should say the wire gauge on the side, right? You can, like measure the mandrel with a ruler. It's 14 gauge wire. Okay, so a good ring size for 14 gauge is like 3/8 of an inch. That's a good mandrel size to use. And with that, you can make European 4-in-1. You can make European 6-in-1. You can make Byzantine. You can make, I think you can make half Persian 4-in-1. You can definitely make half Persian 3-in-1 with that ring size. Spiral weave, double spiral. There's all. Can you make Kingsmail with 14 gauge 3/8? You might be able to. I'd have to try it. What about 16 gauge 3/16? American wire gauge or standard wire gauge? Where's my chart? Do you know? What does TRL use? TRL uses 16 gauge AWG, American wire gauge, for their 3/16. And I have some. America, 16 gauge 3/16 American. The only thing I remember being able to make with that was JPL or Jen's pinned linkage. Okay, I'm going to go watch these videos. You think I'm going to cancel your vacation now to order stuff? All right. Mexican Santa, thanks for stopping by. You have a good night. Okay. JPL. If they're newer, well, I don't know where you ordered them from. If they're really close to being 3/16 exactly, you might be able to make a cube out of them like this, depending on how many you have, and if the aspect ratio is right, because that's real close. Have you ever made Trinity? Okay, I'm almost done here.
All right, we'll close into bed.
Okay. Oh, okay. You made the rings. You've never made any weaves. I gotcha. Okay. So yeah. Off the top of my head, JPL, Jen's Pinned Linkage. It's a spirally little weave. I don't have an example in front of me. And then JPL, the aspect ratio for JPL and cubes is really close, so you might be able to make a cube. You might try that. If you're on TikTok, the place to go find a tutorial for cubes is Wayward and Whimsical. She's got a tutorial on her TikTok page that is the only tutorial I know of, and it's really thorough. So there's that. And then there's a weave called Trinity, which Trinity is like European 3-in-1. And it wants to roll over onto itself all of the time, and it's a pain to make. But I think that 16 gauge 3/16 American wire gauge is going to be too tight for European 4-in-1. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. So I hope that helps. What was I saying? All right, yeah. So, my name's Sean. I'm usually here 8:30 to 10 Central Standard Time most nights of the week. Hanging out, making chainmail. Is it too tight? If you like what you see and you want to see more of it, the best ways to support the channel is to go to my website. It's myusername.com and check out the chainmail themed print apparel and accessories that I design. We've got hoodies and leggings and coffee cups and... Alright, Boxer Dog, have a good night. It is tight, but it was like, whatever, I'll try for practice. Yeah. In my link tree, which should be on my TikTok bio, but I'll post it here one more time for everyone. If you go to my link tree, the top link is the Mailworks app. If you want to get started making chainmail, it's a good bunch of resources to have available. Don't have to download anything. It's just a web app. And it's got where to find suppliers, where to find tutorials, where to find where other chainmail artists hang out. Loads of fun. Going to be adding more stuff soon and cleaning it up because my icons are all messed up right now. So I started with a bunch of stuff and found out that I didn't need it, and then changed it all around, and now I need to go back and make it look all nice and pretty again. As soon as I have time to sit on the computer for a week. What else? Another way to support the channel is you can donate directly to my Ko-fi account. If you're watching the stream and you saw a bracelet or a dice bag, just send me a message request and I will get to you after the stream or tomorrow, just depending on when I've got time. You'll be joining them all? Well, thank you. And then, let's see here, what else? I think that's really about it. You know, if you can't, if you just want to be helpful, the whole like, follow, share, comment works wonders. I always appreciate that. And, thank you to everyone who came and hung out and asked questions and asked to see stuff. And I guess literally what I'm doing here is to show everyone that you can, make cool stuff at home. And it's not that hard. It's just, insanely time consuming. but the reward is almost always worth it. So. And that is my outro, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Beasts and creatures from far off lands. All of you Fae individuals. That's, yeah. Alright. I've got that much to go. I'll just finish it. It's 10:07, kids in bed. Dogs being quiet. Just knock this out. Send a picture to its new owner. I'll make some videos before I go to the post office with it tomorrow. And that way, you know, I'll have it done. I won't wake up and be like, oh, I gotta run downstairs and finish this and then get to the post office real fast. And then tomorrow night we'll be back on this extremely large cube over here. Right? We've got Iowa Man, how you doing? Don't invite the Fae, it's a trap. The cube looks done. What else are you doing to it? So I'm just finishing up this edge, and then this cube is going out. This cube over here still needs one more layer. That's all. Just finishing up this corner over here. Someone commented, you missed a ring on the bottom left. See it? On one of my videos of this cube. They thought they were very clever. You know what the craziest comment that like just kind of lives rent free in my head? I don't remember what video it was on. It was probably one of the cube videos I've made. Those have done the best so far. And somebody said, I think you do coke. And that's okay. It's like, was I sniffing a lot in that video or something? I don't. I wouldn't even know where to get it. But it's like, just the most random piece of information they thought they should let me know they think about me. Huh. So I have a ton of allergies. So I could see why someone might think that. But also... It's like of the comment you get it from Walmart. Yeah, I saw someone shilling RC Cola earlier today. I was like, what is that? They said they got it from Walmart. It's like I haven't seen RC Cola in like 20 years. Maybe even longer, actually, now that I think about it. But there's usually a running theme with this cube. People wanting to bite it. People wanting me to fire a projectile at it and see how much, what it can stop, right? People saying they love it, they need to touch it right now, right? But the guy just randomly saying, I think you do coke, was, you know, completely just different, just a different comment than all the rest. You know what I mean? Oh, and then there's a bunch of people that are like, oh, my ADHD could never let me do something like this, right? I always find it funny when people accuse me of having ADHD, and it's like, nope. I just like opening and closing rings. Yeah, that's random. Yeah, it was just it's a comment in its own little world. You know, I can see why someone would think that. You know, take a little bump and then weave a bunch of rings together. Right? And when you look at like the pile of stuff I laid out here, right? All this, like that's not a small amount of work, okay? But the reality is that that's, you know, I didn't do it in a day. It's over several years. It's called hyperfixation, ADHD adjacent. I wouldn't call mine that. I definitely know that some people who make chainmail have those conditions. But it's literally just something I enjoy doing. It's like in every other aspect of my life, I exhibit no signs or symptoms of any of those conditions. So it's like for me, it is just a hobby. Oh, it is also a hobby that's going to become a business. There is a real... I mean, with ADHD, you can hyperfixate on something. That's what I do with chainmail. Yeah, okay. Right, like, I know people who have those conditions, and, you know, chainmail really helps them. I just think it's funny when I get accused of it, and I was like, no, that's not me. But speaking of business, right, so I can either go back to work, or I can start vending, start streaming all day. Like 9 o'clock after I drop my kid off, and stream till lunchtime. Take a lunch break, stream until I have to go get my kid. Come home, homework, dinner, dishes. Come back downstairs, stream for another, hour and a half till bedtime. Like it's looking like I'm going to have to take a crack at really turning this into something that is worth my time. Not just spending it on like large chainmail sculptures and whatnot. So I don't know what that's going to look like necessarily. We'll see. I'm already down here. But now that school started back up, I'm already down here most of those hours anyway. I'm usually not streaming. Yeah, made anything in probably a couple weeks. When you do, it's for hours. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alright, is this the last ring? Holy cannoli. Just that little part. Hour and 45 minutes. Like 2 rows on each side. Blech. Okay. Yay, this is done. Alright, I'm going to leave this mess here. I've already done my outro, guys. My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I make chainmail, and I design and sell chainmail-themed apparel and accessories. And it's past my bedtime. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Help me spread the word of this awesome hobby. I would greatly appreciate it. You all have been wonderful people. Thank you so much for participating. I'll be back on probably 8:30 to 10 most nights of the week. And from what it's looking like, probably a whole lot more, so we'll see. And then, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Going to have to get, like, professional about it. Or I'll have to go to work and not be able to do this, so we'll see. All right. You guys are the best. I wouldn't do this if it weren't for you. So thank you very much. You all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to get out of here. Bye.